You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to put them down because I'm gonna be clean sitting there watching too.
I've been finding them more common.
Right. Because I'm geared up myself. So
Yeah.
when I give him his compliment, he immediately thinks that I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm putting myself here and putting him here. No, it's not that, bro. Your fit is tight.
I've been having
You
the
know what I'm
opposite
saying?
experiences. Like actually, I've been like a brother has some fresh like slacks on or something. Like, hey man, you hit that one right there. You know, he's like, ah man, you fresh too. You know, I've been getting it back. I've been finding it more common that guys are complimenting each other on their gear and stuff
Okay,
like that.
well.
So my experiences have been a little bit opposite, but you know, there was a mother in Walmart the other day. She was handling her kid so well, and I was like, "Ma'am, you are doing well at the motherhood thing." And she was like, "Thank you so much." You know, it's just like it's becoming more common that people are like interacting at that level instead of looking at their phone, walking through the store the entire time with the face in the phone.
I think
You know?
we got so heavy in people hating on each other that when a person does give a person a compliment, which should, just like in the hood, you know what I'm saying? He go get a new paint job on his Chevy, you know, get the pearl on there. Man, that paint job is fly. Instead of being over here, look at this hoe ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then when they got so used to people hating, when you give a compliment, they be like immediately they go in their mind, what's this motherfucker's motive?
Yeah.
You know, which is crazy because when we get dressed, especially when we get dressed, you know, when we
That's two
put
different
our
kinds of
when we put our shit together and we stand in the mirror and we trim our beards or we do our makeup and we're making sure our hair is together and we don't have shit in our teeth and we ain't got no boogers in our nose and we've gone to the car wash and we've done all the things. Yeah, we do these things for ourselves to make ourselves feel good. Okay, wait a minute. But you did that, so when people see you, they perceive you in a way that makes you appear to be whatever it is that you're presenting yourself to be. Yeah. You do that for reception of others, like we do. We don't necessarily care what people think, but you're trying to present yourself in a way that's acceptable, that people do compliment you, that people do like what they see. So to all of y'all that have been complimented and you gave somebody some stank back when they complimented you, you probably wasn't hitting on what you thought you was hitting on to begin with, because you did that for exactly what that person was willing to give you. But what did you think, that they weren't worthy enough?
Yeah.
You know,
I dress
receive these compliments, you know, because Red hit it right on the nose. You know what I'm saying? When I get up and I get up and put on a suit or whatever the case may be, get out there, shine the car up and everything like that, and I walk into the studio or walk here or whatever the case may be, and if somebody say, man, that looks nice, man, and reply, thank you, I appreciate that, and you look great too. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? Why have we gotten away with? You know what I'm saying? We're beautiful people.
Yeah.
And especially when you brush your teeth and clean your nose out. You know what I'm saying?
The boogers out.
Yeah, I think it's people's own personalities. You know, if people are mean, they're just mean, whatever the case may be. But we see you with your ugly ass, and we see you. You know, you can,
to the second power.
because as uncomfortable as I am with receiving compliments, it's tough for me. I still am grateful. Like, I appreciate them. I like to receive compliments. It's not that I don't want anybody to compliment me. I like the validation. Please tell me I'm
Come
pretty.
on, validation.
I've also started this thing to where I dress how I feel. Like, I literally take time in the morning and I'm like, how do I feel today?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it could be green, it could be red. Like, usually when I'm wearing the brighter colors, I feel a little bit better. And I've had people like actually tell me that, like, the way I dress and the way I guess just the way I move, you know, I have a certain stature about myself that kind of commands respect.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying? So, and that's just how I carry myself, you know, because I try to take care of myself. Yeah, as anybody should, right? Wash your ass, clean your face, brush your teeth,
please and thank
put on
you.
some threads. You know, even if you're just going to the store, you know, they say how you come out of your house is the way you are inside of it. Let me say that one again. How you come out of your house is the way you are inside of it.
Is that true?
I don't
Think
know about
about
that. Because
I don't either, because you
Think
should
about it.
see the amount of clothes that's thrown about in my room at any given time.
Let me see, because how I am at home, you know what I'm saying, is
None of your business.
It's not.
How you come out of your house is the way you are inside of.
No.
If you come out with these balled up t-shirts on and maybe a bonnet on your head and all that other stuff, more than likely, if I walk in your house, there's probably some clothes thrown in the corner on the floor. You know what I'm saying? That's yeah.
Man,
Like,
I think that's a judgment.
You can call it what you want to.
I can
I'm looking
say
at-
it
I'm looking at-
because what by looking at me right now, I mean my house is clean. Let's be clear.
I'm
But-
gonna assume that
You're gonna assume my house is clean.
because you.
But
care,
right
you care
now,
for
I have
yourself.
mountains of clothes piled to the windowsill in my bedroom that I keep looking at, and I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna get to that because half that shit needs to go. I need to purge, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And because I'm that way. I mean, my room is clean. I ain't got roaches. My house is together. But that's something. Clothes, accessories, and shit. I got so much shit and not enough room, so it's always bulging out of some fucking where in the storage something. But I'm not a mess. And I'm not a mess in life. And it's not a reflection. My mom used to always tell me that the way I keep my room is the way I'm going to keep my house. And I kept a junky ass room as a teenage girl. Let me just tell you, my shit was junky. Closet was full of shit piled up under the bed. All that shit I did. I kept a junky room. My mom used to tell me all the time I wasn't never going to be able to cook and I wasn't going to keep a clean house. And I mean, yeah, spoke that shit into my life, baby. Walk into my house now.
So that statement may not.
Come sit down at my table and eat this dinner that I cooked and eat them words while you at it. So, like, we have to be careful how we judge people.
That statement may not
Based
be
on
law,
that.
right?
Yeah.
But it is relative.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
so-
relative.
you
Most
know-
people who care about themselves, I ain't gonna say who care about themselves, but most people who like care how they present themselves when they come out of their house, usually they take care of the things inside of the house as
Absolutely.
well.
I know what you
You know
mean.
what I'm saying?
I just wanted
No,
to see
no,
you
no,
squirm.
no.
I'm not gonna squirm you. Red, you know if anybody
just
gonna get
wanted
back
to
clap
see
back
you
at you, it's gonna be me. That's part of our relationship.
So, moving on. I'd like to ask a question to the panel. And I feel like we've all been here before. But what happens when the past returns? What I mean by that is what happens when you've gone through, I'm just going to call it a traumatic experience with someone or something. And you've taken the time to go through the process of healing, forgiving yourself if it was your fault for putting yourself in blah, 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 blah. You've cleared your conscience. And then the past shows up. You're confronted with the thing that you thought you had moved beyond. If you were, for instance, addicted to pills and you went to rehab and you moved on with your life and you met someone years later and you're hanging out and partying and they popped them pills you used to pop. You want one?
Right.
What do you do when you're confronted with your past, the thing that you thought you were over, when it shows up? How do you handle that? What goes through your mind? How do you move forward?
Faced with that, I'll start off on this. I've been faced with that in more than one times in red in more than one area. And
Yeah.
one thing that I noticed that's a common denominator on every time that I'm faced with something like that from the past is, and this is a me shit, you know what I'm saying? I just get chills. I get this chill all over my body, man, and that chill stops me from responding, and actually gives me an opportunity to think about this situation. Because I've been faced with it in the capacity that Red just brought up, you know what I'm saying? Because you know I'm a recovering drug addict, man, you know, and spent so many years using drugs, man. You know, I thought I literally lost my mind, but I can say that I've regained it now. You know, and I have my mind with me now. But it's times that I come up that. If you offer me a drink or something like that, I don't drink, you know, but it's times that, you know what I'm saying, that I've been faced with, you know what I'm saying, people that's literally out there using that stuff that I was really, really on. because the drink wasn't really. The drink was just the pathway to get what I really wanted, you know, when I was out there and about. And I just chills ran over my body, man. You know what I'm saying? And I had to address that, you know, and remove myself. But here's one that I found that I did not recognize and thought I did the work on, but I know, and I met somebody from my past I was in a relationship and was in the same place and space with that person, and I felt a dis-ease, and it was kind of like the first time I've been around that person to that capacity, and I literally felt a dis-ease, and I had to question myself, what is that about? You know, and I spoke and everything. You know, being a man that I am, respectable and everything like that. But I was at a dis-ease, and I be immediately right then. I couldn't even pay attention to what was going on. The speaker that was speaking, because the simple fact, here I am. I'm thinking about, why am I reacting this way? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I at a dis-ease? And my answer was that is because I still got work to do, Red. You know what I'm saying, in that area, because that has impacted me so deeply. That I need to get a little bit more deeper with the work involved in that, you know. So, yeah,
Yikes!
yeah, I know, huh?
Right.
It just gave me a little bit of perspective. But yeah, I deal with it first by saying, well, I know if it's something that's going to cause me harm, I say no. No is a complete sentence. It starts with a capital N and ends with a period. Sometimes I just have to say no, right? That could consist of me removing myself from whatever the situation is or wherever I'm at. I've literally had to, something that has a person who has caused me trauma, hadn't seen him for years, and then that person showed up at a football game, right? I'm sitting in the stands. I see him walk right up the stands, comes and sits 2 rows behind me. I don't even think he ever saw me. And that person is somebody that I like want to put my hands on. And I knew I had a 9mm in my glove box in the car.
That's
I
intense.
said goodbye to my friend. I immediately left. Right. Today though, like now, it could be something that could actually cause me some pleasure. Right. I have to stop. That's the first thing that I do is stop. Now I can respond to the situation instead of react to it.